little house. The cat liked to lie in the warm sun and nap all day long. The dog liked to bury his bone in a new spot every day. The mouse liked to sit on the porch while she tasted a new kind of cheese each day. The pig liked to roll around in the mud outside the house from morning till night. The duck liked to dive and swim in the pond out back from sun up to sundown. The little red hen and her chicks were left to do all of the housework. They cooked all of the meals and washed all the dishes. They made all the beds, swept the floors, and washed the windows. They even mended all the clothes. Outside, they raked the leaves and mowed the grass and mowed the garden. One afternoon, when the little red hen and her chicks were hoeing the garden, they found some grains of wheat. I found a grain of wheat. We could plant it, grow the wheat, harvest it, and make it into bread. Who will plant this grain of wheat? Asked the little red hen. The other animals asked,
How do you do that?
Put your egg in, put your egg out, put your egg in, and you shake it all out. With the choking up in, turn the dirt around. That's what it's all about. Put your egg in, put your egg out, put your egg in, and you shake it all out. Do the choking up in, turn the dirt around. to go to the mill, where it would be made into flour. Now who will help us take this wheat to the mill? The other animals asked.
How do you do that?
Pull the wagon out and you walk to the mill. Pull the wagon out and you shake it all about. Do the chokey pokey and you turn yourself around. Walking is really fun. Pull the wagon out and you walk it to the mill. Pull the wagon out and you shake it all about. Do the chokey pokey and you turn yourself around. Walking is really fun. Not I, said the cat. I have to take a nap in the warm sun. Not I, said the dog. I have to bury my bone. Not I, said the mouse. I have to eat my cheese. Not I, said the pig. I have to roll in the mud. Not I, said the duck. I have to swim in the pond. Very well, said the little red hen. My chicks and I will go to the mill, and they did. They pulled the wagon of wheat to the mill. It was uphill both ways. The mill turned the wheat into flour. It was time to bake the bread. Who will help us bake the bread? Asked the little red hen. The other animals asked.
How do you do that?
Make sure all the ingredients are and mix them in a bowl. Put your hands together and knead the dough. Do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. Baking is really fun. Measure all the ingredients out and you mix them in a bowl. Put your hands together. I have to eat my cheese. Not I, said the pig. I have to roll in the mud. Not I, said the duck. I have to swim in the pond. Very well, sighed the little red hen. My chicks and I will bake the bread. And they did. They gathered sticks and made a fire in the stove. They took milk, sugar, eggs, and butter and mixed them in a big bowl with flour. When the oven was hot, she poured the batter into a shiny pan and put it into the oven to bake. said the mouse. I was busy rolling in the mud, said the pig. I was busy swimming in the pond, said the duck. Well, said the little red hen, my chicks and I did all of the work ourselves. And now my chicks and I will eat it all by ourselves. And so they did, to the very last crumb. After that, whenever there was work to be done, the little red hen had 5 eager helpers.
You got ready. You got ready. When the road runs ahead and you're miles and miles, and it's Saturday. You just remember what your past said. Oh, you got ready. Yeah, you got ready.
Thank you so much. I just want to do a few introductions. There was a lot of people that came in after, and some that might not know our class as well. But we have our main character tonight, the little red hen, Miss Barrett. We have Emery as our little mouse with her helper, Miss Kendall. We have Miss Unity and Izzy as the little chick. Next we have Louise and Mr. John as the dog. We have Molly. We have Miss Maya and Miss Angie that's not here, but Miss Maya took over as the pig. We have our props manager, Miss Leanne. And we have Mr. Drew as the duck. A few people that maybe some of you saw, we have Miss Rose as the narrator. We have our sound and lights producer, Andrew Miller. We have Mr. Justin Moy, our backstage helper. And we want to thank Mr. Joe for our slideshow after this. One thing that we have one more little thing on stage, and then we'll let you take some pictures.
And we all need a round of applause for Miss Anna Marie. Now we would like everybody to stand up. We have been working on with Miss Marceline in PE all year, a little dance called Chicken Dance. And we would